In this episode, we have an update on the Army's future weapons program, the 6.8mm Next Generation Squad Weapon. Specifically, we're going to show some of the new animations, Sig Sauer's MG68, that shows the inner workings of the prototype machine gun. I sat down and I read a few great articles written by actual experts.
It's mostly pictures, so even I can follow along.
Welcome to Task and Purpose, the channel where we cover military weapons, history, and humor. I dug up some new details on the 6.8 ammo and the issues they face, like high chamber pressures, possible issues with the life cycle of the barrel, and how these companies in the running, like Textron, General Dynamics, and Sig Sauer, plan to achieve the high velocity requirements set by Big Army. If you look at this animation of how the MG68 Next Generation Squad Weapon from Sig Sauer bid would operate, it has some interesting key features that I really like. And this impressive animation was done by XMZeon on Twitter. He was nice enough to give us permission to use the animations of the Textron rifle that he had in our last video, and so we're going to be using the MG68 animations here in this video. This is his best guesswork on how the Sig Sauer MG68 operates on the inside. In the old 249, you had to open up the whole top of the weapon and feed the ammo in. With the new MG68 bid, you only have to open a small part and to feed the rounds through there. That's the feed tray now. It's a side opening feed tray with a feature that is brand new, and it lets you even load the rifle with the feed tray closed, which is unheard of with any of the M249 variants that I know of. And this would cut down on reload times and make it easier to load from the prone position. This is probably my favorite part of their design because of how much easier it makes to operate the belt-fed machine gun than the way it was in the past. According to an article from soldiersystems.net, the belt-fed Sig NGSW will have a muzzle velocity of over 3,000 feet per second with a 16-inch barrel. The MG68 weighs just over 12 pounds and has a reciprocating barrel. Thanks to this animation, it's easy for us to see the functionality inside the weapon. The suppressor for this bid was tested by running 10,000 rounds through it without removing it, and it had no issues or problems. The suppressor uses a clutch lock system, which helps mitigate the amount of gas that's blown back into the weapon. I've watched a few videos on SIG's messaging about their bid and why the Army should go with them. Part of their argument is that they won't be upending the ammo industry. The plants that already make brass casings, it's easy for them to switch over to making their hybrid steel brass casings. I read a great detailed article by Tom Beckstrand at gunsandammo.com, link in the description, and I really liked his take on why the Army is looking to switch to the 6.8 round. So a lot of this information in this video comes from his amazing work. Check it out if you get a chance. After reading his article, I came away with the feeling like I really understood the three bids a lot better than before. I'm not a weapons manufacturer or a professional shooter. I'm a former mediocre soldier, half military history buff, and half video producer. I mean, to be honest, I'm probably more of an expert with this camera than this gun. Hey, this is fake. I leave the technical stuff to the real experts whenever I can. One of the first misconceptions about the 6.8 is that it's actually the 6.8 SPC round. The 6.8 that the Army is looking to acquire for the Next Generation Squad Weapon is an entirely new type of ammo, and each bid has its own mysterious round, which are plastic cartridges or steel and brass hybrid, but you can't compare the 6.8 SPC round to the 6.8 that Big Army is looking to replace the 5.56 with, and I see that often being done. The ballistics and performance for the new ammo will be different than what we've seen in the SPC. I know a lot of people in the comment section think we should have gone with the 6.5 Grendel round instead of the 6.8mm, but from all the research I've done, it sounds like when you're talking about your average shooter engaging at your average distance of 300 meters, the difference between these two intermediate rounds is actually negligible. And try that again, negligible. And we're talking about your average shooter here. These weapons aren't specialized for crack shots in SOCOM. These are meant to be in the hands of every infantryman. You have regular Joes who don't know how to put their batteries tits out in their nods, let alone care about what the minute of angle for their rifle is. The 6.8mm, if you ask me, is going to be noticeably different and more effective than the 5.56, even to your everyday private, but the difference between the 6.8 and the 6.5 Grendel wouldn't be that big of a difference. If that makes sense, hit the like button, and if it doesn't, send me an aggressive comment below. According to Soldier Systems and the article on Guns and Ammo, their best guess is that the new prototype 6.8 ammo will weigh between 135 to 140 grains. And while the stats of the prototype weapons are top secret, the requirements from the Army aren't. So we can estimate what the stats might be. We can work backwards that way. The Army put out a regulation that the bullet must hit a velocity near 3,000 feet per second. According to Tom Beckstrand, he believes Sig Sauer would need to have chamber pressures around 90,000 pounds per square inch in order to achieve that. General Dynamics released some new footage of their impressive bid for the NGSW. The new video showcases the AR version of the rifle with a scope on it. The AR version is magazine fed, unlike the other bids which are all belt fed. Its barrel's 22 inches, and Task and Purpose reporter Jared Keller spoke with Kevin Sims, the Senior Director of Business Development at General Dynamics, and he said the rifle's under 10 pounds and the AR version is under 11 pounds. Quote, "We continue to try to remove weight where we can, but we have a big cartridge we're plugging," said Kevin Sims. A good way to tell how much these weapons weigh is it's about as heavy as your average pug. So if you can lift a pug, you can lift these weapons. If you get a chance, check out the link in the description. Some of Jared Keller's great articles for Task and Purpose cover all kinds of military technology. General Dynamics also told us, quote, "We're going between 500 and 750 shots per minute on the AR, and we'll make a determination on which one hits the sweet spot," he said, which is a predictably huge range of possible rates of fire that I would expect someone to give when they need to keep it secret at this point. I don't blame him for that. He doesn't want to get the lockdown into a number at this point. The philosophy of having the machine gun be magazine fed and similar to the main battle rifle is more in line with the way the M27 IAR's role is within the Marine Corps. The way General Dynamics is trying to reach the required high velocity is with a bullpup design. This allows them to have a 20-inch barrel while keeping the rifle length within the guidelines. They're also using polymer cased ammo as opposed to Sig Sauer's brass and steel ammo. The polymer case allows them to potentially achieve higher velocities without needing high pressure. This is because they're able to create cartridge shapes that are impossible to make with brass thanks to their casings being made out of polymer. And if you look at their ammo, it has a flat body with almost no neck. It's a unique design made possible thanks to this technology. I could see where this bid might be up against a lot of vested interests in the ammunition manufacturing industry. The ammo industry has been making casings for brass for a long time. For these plants to think about doing an about face and start making everything in polymer would require a huge change in infrastructure. Think about it, they have to convince the Army that their casings are the way of the future. The reduction in weight and improvement in performance might be exactly what they need to do that. Another issue these manufacturers run into with the high pressure is the lifetime of the barrel. The higher the pressure, the lower the life cycle is because the internals get destroyed quicker. The third bid is Textron, and this team includes Heckler & Koch, and they're creating their rifle design alongside Winchester, who's responsible for the ammo. The ammo is insanely different than the other bids. This is what's called telescoping case. The bullet usually sits on top of the gunpowder in a brass shell, but in this bid, the telescoping cased ammo, the bullet sits inside gunpowder encased in a plastic cartridge. Another interesting development with the Textron bid is the evolution of their design of their main battle rifle over the course of the years. Originally, it had a bulky undergrowth under the handguard rail, and the new prototype shown at SHOT Show 2020 shows that the weapon has since removed that, leading some commenters to believe it was a storage place for the rifle's battery power, which has since been moved to the buttstock of the rifle. If that's the case, I think it's a great choice. Save that space under the rifle for something useful like a grenade launcher. I talked the least about the Textron bid in this video because I talked at length about their bid in our last 6.8 video, and their design is largely under wraps. That's our update on the US Army's 6.8mm Next Generation Squad Weapon Program. You're watching Task and Purpose, where we bring you all the latest news and updates on gear, weapons, and equipment. Thanks for watching.